I watched hundreds of hours of college basketball this season, so you didn't have to. You might have watched my analysis of this game right here, where McNeese busted out a random 2-3 matchup zone that really stifled Clemson. So Purdue with Matt Painter and crew had one day to prepare for a rotation-heavy, help-heavy, and switch-heavy defense that led to a 13-point half for Clemson. I'll tell you right now that these two, Matt Painter and TKR, were locked in, because Braden Smith had to give up some of his offensive initiating duties to Trey Kaufman-Renn just because of the nature of this defense. And I'm going to hop right into it, but I want to make sure I give proper people credit, and PJ Thompson was the guy responsible for the offensive game plan, as Matt Painter mentioned. So the chess match began right here. As expected, they switch on this dribble handoff, but then on the back end, TKR is setting a screen that they kind of get confused whether or not to switch, and that's enough for TKR to seal his man and get an easy two. Purdue's second possession reminds me a lot of this possession that Clemson had, where they get into a gap after a ball fake, but the player that's receiving the ball on Clemson does not receive it in a good spot. He's about 3 feet beyond the arc still. Some things change with these defenses, but others don't, and that's why Painter was focused on some fundamentals.
Catch it on the arc. So you're a dribble away from the rim, you can make a post feed, or you can stick that three.
Sure enough, on the second possession, they get the switch they want again on TKR, so the defense collapses. But instead of hanging out way beyond the arc, Fletcher decides to kind of sneakily move his way up the arc to be in even a more difficult position for the defense to recover to. And just like Painter mentioned, with his feet close to the line, he sticks the three. The third possession is lost immediately when Shoemate and Garcia decide to switch Braden dribbling across the court, and when that happens, Garcia has TKR. Anything else that was planned for that possession is out the window as they swing the ball to his side and he gets another easy bucket. Because McNeese is so rotation heavy, Painter also emphasized making that extra pass.
And I call it a pinball, a one more pass where you pinball it and you're going.
The next possession, TKR fires a pass cross court to CJ Cox, and he's smart enough to make that right read to give that extra pass to Braden in the corner. From my last video, you know that trapping the ball worked well against Clemson, but Braden Smith's a first team All-American, and he was a bit more patient with this trap and found TKR at the free throw line, who was able to also make the right read and dump off a pass for a dunk. I know I'm jumping to Painter a lot, but he reinforced a lot of the right principles going into this game.
So sometimes just being fundamentally sound, kind of pausing right there, pass and shot fake.
And after that media timeout, these are the ensuing possessions. This is where TKR kind of stops for a second, his head's up, and he makes the right read. He kicks it out for a three. And then a little later, Fletcher catches the ball, makes a shot fake, and fires the ball to the corner for another three. So McNeese decided to switch Murray onto Braden Smith because he's a bigger guy, so if the switch does happen, potentially he can minimize the impact of that big's ability to score. But Purdue just decided to abuse the switch in the opposite direction. So the big was switched on to Braden, and then he was able to go to work and hit a tough fadeaway here. So shout out to Purdue, Matt Painter, PJ Thompson, and crew, because on a little over a day of prep, they came in prepared to exploit the weaknesses of a defense that led to a 13-point half for Clemson.